All right, guys, this is day number one. Me as a natural lifter at the 165 weight class, trying to break the Tennessee powerlifting records for bench, squat, deadlift. This is the first time in my life that I've ever actually been under a true powerlifting program. So I'm excited to see exactly what we can do. I've been more of a really strong sort of gym bro who's self-taught. Unofficially today, right now, I could break the bench record for my weight class as a natural tested lifter, but I have some work to do on deadlift as well as squat. This is going to be about a 6-month long journey, so follow along and let's get it cracking, y'all. This was definitely a big change for me as I am not used to this amount of volume. All right, guys, but after that, my mic died, but here is my workout for the day. This was all percentages based on my max. We started off with 275. First off, we warmed up, and then we did 275 for 8. This was supposed to represent 80% of my 8 rep max, which my 8 rep max currently is 340 pounds. Supposed to be at an RPE of 8 or 7, which means if you put 10 is like the highest that it can possibly be. If they put a gun to your head, you can't do another rep, and 1 is like you could do a million more reps. So 7 is like it's solid, but you're not like pushing yourself crazy hard, and I definitely felt like that with this particular weight. Here is set number 2, and this time I tried to focus a lot more on my form, going slow, squeezing, contracting. So this set felt really good. I'm not used to this amount of reps, to be honest, and I didn't have any food before this, so by the end of the workout, I was completely smoked and I was sweating. But this set right here felt really good. I was focusing on being tight, being long, driving, not jerking, none of that. I felt really, really good about this set right here. A true RPE of 7 as well as my 8 reps. And then set number 3, much of the same, except this time we focused yet again even more on being tight, and I felt really good about this set. Again, I'm not used to this much repetition. It's a lighter weight for me, so it's my 88 rep max is supposedly 340 pounds at an RPE of 10, so 80% of that would be 272-ish, so we just rounded to the nearest 5. But this felt pretty good. I was definitely depleted. Next time I'm definitely going to have at least a banana or something like that before a workout. I don't recommend training for powerlifting on an empty stomach, but that's what I did here. Now, this was supposed to be 2 sets of 10 of 60% of my previous 80%. So that is 165, and you were supposed to do an alternate deadlift. For me, never in my life. This is the first time. You guys are witnessing it live. The first time that I've ever done sumo, and I think you can tell. My form looks pretty trash. By the end of it, I could see why people do sumo, as it's kind of a cheat code. But this was obviously not pushing very much weight at all, 165, but it's all about form, technique. It was supposed to be an RPE of like 5. After that, we did squats. It was the max out competition, so you did really wide, so it's 4 sets of 1, and each time I went a little bit wider. And then even on set number 3, I believe I did some pigeon toes, like my toes were pointing out, because that's what they do in competition. I'm not really that familiar with squatting in competition. I've done bench, but I've never done a squat, so definitely something I need to work on. This was supposed to be 60% of my 1 rep max as well. And then the last set, I went the widest and I went the most pigeon toed, and I could definitely feel kind of tight on my groin. I was feeling really tight on my back at this point because I was not used to this amount of reps. But these squats actually help my back sort of cool off with the pump. Now, this was to the working set. It was 2 sets of 10. I was going a little bit fast here, so this was supposed to be 60% of my, or 50% of my 1 rep max. 2 sets of 10. I went a little bit too fast on this one. On the second set, I decided to go much slower, more contracted, more controlled. Do a little pause at the bottom. I was not happy with the first set, but the second set felt a lot better. Definitely a lot happier with that. Um, Apparently, the first whole phase, which is about 4 to 5 weeks, is all about just technique and building muscle. The next phase, I think we start getting into 5-3-1s. This program, it could be as short as 9 weeks or as long as 7 months. I'm going to be training more on the 6 month, 7 month range. And I'm just showing like how beat I am and sweaty and exhausted and depleted because I am not used to this amount of reps. Next was hanging leg raises. And it was just 2 sets of 10 or just as many reps as possible. Nothing too special about this one. I was definitely just smoked at this point in time because I was very depleted, did not have a great night's sleep. It was a great workout though, but I'm not used to this amount of volume as far as compound movements. Typically I go pretty high on volume on secondary movements, but squat, bench, deadlift, I typically never go above 5 reps. And last, we finished it off with back extensions, 2 sets of 10 on this one. I was completely smoked at this point, but I was just trying to squeeze, get a good contraction in my hamstrings and my posterior chain. This is really going to help your deadlifts in the long run. Great workout. Just trying to maximize the rest of this workout. And that is pretty much it, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe. That is day number 1 of me training at the 165 weight class to break the bench, squat, and deadlift record for a natural lifter in Tennessee. Make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe. Peace.